I'm going to call the afternoon meeting of the City of Monterey Architecture Review Committee meeting to order. Currently not with us is Patrick. Would you do roll call, please?
Sure thing. Chair Carter.
Here.
Vice Chair Bluth.
Here.
Committee Member Hunter.
Here.
Committee Member Polly. Looks like he is currently absent. Committee Member Schmidt.
Present.
And Committee Member Tregenza.
Here.
Thank you.
Great. So we have a quorum. City staff present is Sarah Ziel, Jennifer Cleary, Ed's a member, Kimberly Cole, and Fernanda. We're gonna open the consent agenda. On the agenda, we have the approval of the meeting minutes from November 18th. And is there any discussion about that? Okay, seeing none, then I'll take a motion.
Okay, I move that we approve the consent agenda.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Is there any further discussion about that? Okay, seeing none, we'll go for a vote.
Okay, we have Chair Carter.
Aye.
Vice Chair Bluth.
Aye.
Committee Member Hunter.
Aye.
Committee Member Polly is absent. Committee Member Schmidt.
Aye.
And Committee Member Tregenza.
Aye.
Thank you.
Great, now we're gonna open public comment for items not on the agenda. If anybody would like to speak, they can do so now. Can you go over public comment procedures, please?
Sure thing, and I just want to state that there was a comment received for an item not on the agenda today. I have uploaded it to monterey.org/submitted comments for this meeting. Now I will announce the process for how you join to produce public comment. We encourage the members of the public to join via Zoom Gov, a secure service for use by government agencies. Joining on Zoom is preferred because you're connected live to the meeting. This meeting is also streamed live on youtube.com/City of Monterey with approximately a 10-second delay, and on Comcast channel 25 with up to a 90-second delay. If you would like to make public comment, please join the meeting using Zoom or by telephone, making sure you join in time to accommodate the delays. To join the meeting from a computer or phone, use the link or phone number on the agenda posted at isearchmonterey.org. Since the meeting has begun, you will find the agenda under the Recent tab. To join by telephone, please dial 833-568-8864. This number is toll-free. There are a few other numbers to use in case that first one does not work. So the first one is 669-254-5252 or 646-828-7666. Then enter the webinar ID, which in this case is 161-914-9563. If prompted to enter a participant ID, please press pound. Detailed instructions on using Zoom are available at monterey.org/public meetings. Finally, once you're in the meeting, we do have one public comment, and I will get to you in just a minute. To make a public comment once you're in the Zoom, please dial *9 if you're connected by phone, or raise your hand using the Zoom app. Then dial *6 to unmute yourself. Sorry, that was *9 to raise your hand, and then *6 to unmute yourself if you're calling via phone. You will be muted until it is your turn to speak. Then we will ask you to speak when it is time. So that being said, and just a reminder, there is a 3-minute time limit for these. That being said, we do have one commenter, which I will unmute currently. Marta, you're on with the ARC. I think they can hear you now if you'd like to present your public comment.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Marta Kravchuk, and I'm here today to bring to the attention of the Architectural Review Board a project that Monterey Peninsula Unified School District has proposed for the district office and Monterey High School. This parking improvement project is estimated to cost $5.5 million. I mailed a letter in earlier today with a description of the MPUSD parking improvement project and some visuals for you to be able to understand the entire scope. As you can see from the plans, the district wants to pave over the grassy area in front of the district office at 700 Pacific Street, among other paving projects at Monterey High School. Included in this project are many new planned security lights throughout the parking area. I have not seen elevations for this project, but as a local resident for over 60 years, I do know that a paved parking lot on that grassy area would obliterate the view of that historic school building, thought to have been built in the 1920s. This project would be easily viewed from Pacific Street, considered a scenic roadway. These new parking areas would lead to an increased traffic into and out of this area, as well as a new parking exit onto narrow Logan Lane. There is no mention in the plans of the type of security lights, how many lights, the location, the light intensity in candelas, or any signage planned for all these parking improvements. Recently, MPUSD released a draft EIR for the Monterey High School sports complex, but this draft EIR did not include any impacts or issues resulting from this parking project. As both of these projects are MPUSD projects, they do not follow the normal permitting and approval process. I want to make sure your committee was aware of this planned project, and I'm hopeful that MPUSD will follow Monterey City codes and the Monterey General Plan as all other developers are required to do. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us, Marta.
Thank you for providing that public comment. That was our only public comment for items not on the agenda.
Great. Thank you for that. And I also did see her written comment as well. With that, we'll close public comment and open our first public appearance item, which is approve 2 Upper Ragsdale Drive sign permit application SI 20-0187 for 1 internally illuminated vehicle-oriented freestanding sign and 2 internally illuminated wall signs. Staff, do you have a presentation?
Yes, thank you, Chair. My name is Fernanda Roveri. I'm a Senior Associate Planner with the city, and I'll give you a presentation. Okay. Okay, so just a little background. This is the medical campus for Montage Health. It's located at 2 Upper Ragsdale Drive. And there are currently 4 buildings on that campus, buildings A through D. And under construction is building C, which is called the Breast Care Center. And that center is located in the middle of the parcel, as you can see on the right-hand side. The land use is industrial and the zoning is also industrial. This is a site plan that the applicant submitted. It shows all of the signs that they are proposing for the breast care center. But today we're only focusing on 3 signs, the ones that would be visible from a public right-of-way. The other signs qualify as interior signs and therefore are exempt from a sign permit. So the signs that we're looking at today are ST 1.1, which is a vehicle-oriented sign at the driveway entrance off of Upper Ragsdale Drive. And then wall sign ST-2.1, which would say Montage Health Breast Care Center. And then wall sign ST-3.1, which is the letter C to designate that as building C. And as you can see, you would be entering the driveway and you would see signs 2.1 and 3.1 as you approach the building. And this is a photo simulation of where the signs would be placed. As you can see on the left is the vehicle-oriented sign, which I tried to angle it because it's gonna be facing cars as they approach the Upper Ragsdale. And then the other two wall signs, the one on the right identifies the building as the Breast Care Center. The one on the left identifies it as Building C. This is a close-up view of the signs, and on the right-hand side is a nighttime view of each. And so all of them are proposed to be internally illuminated. So the lighting would be inside the letters, and the lighting would shine through. And all the lights would be white. The project has some inconsistencies with the sign guidelines. For example, 2 of the signs would exceed the 50 square foot maximum allowed sign area. Those are ST 1.1 and ST 2.1. They are proposed to be over 100 square feet. And then the signs would exceed the maximum number of lumens allowed. The way that we calculate lumens is we look at the total building frontage. So the building frontage here would be the Breast Care Center, all 4 sides. And the building frontage for that building is 680 feet. And we allow 10 lumens per feet of building frontage. So the total lumens allowed would be 6,800. But I added up all of these lumens here, and the total lumens that the applicant is requesting is 13,236. So they are requesting almost double what is allowed. In order to approve the sign permit, the signs must be consistent with the sign ordinance. And they are, because the signs serve to identify the Breast Care Center, and there are no extraneous signs proposed. You have the freestanding sign to identify the building from the street, and then the other 2 wall signs, which serve as confirmation that you've reached the building. And then the signs also must be consistent with the sign guidelines, or be determined by the ARC to better achieve the purposes and objectives of this chapter. And the extra sign area for sign ST 1.1 is necessary for greater visibility. Upper Ragsdale Drive has curves, and so in order for the sign to be visible from that street, it was necessary to make it bigger. Also, sign ST 2.1 is bigger than the maximum, but it is also necessary to serve as confirmation that customers have reached their destination, because the building is very far away from the driveway entrance. It's set back more than 200 feet. And then, although the lumens, the signs would exceed the lumens, staff found that having a dimmer installed on those signs that would reduce the lighting by half, that would be acceptable, because right now the proposal is for 13,236 lumens total. And if you reduce that by half, that would be 6,618, which is under the maximum allowed of 6,800. And then lastly, the signs, they must be consistent with the general plan. And they are, in that the signs are exceptionally designed, because the width of the letters and logo would be minimal, as opposed to standardized thick channel letters. And although sign ST 3.1 is a thicker letter C, it would be hardly visible from the new driveway. Also, halo lighting for these signs would not work very well because of the narrow letters. The halo would block the letters from view. And this is, again, just to show that the sign C would be behind trees. Staff recommendation is that the ARC approve the project with the special condition that the applicant shall install a dimmer on the signs to reduce the LED intensity by at least half at the request of city staff. That concludes my presentation, and I'm available for questions, and the applicants are here as well.
Thanks, Fernanda. Does anybody have any questions?
This is Patrick Tregenza. Thank you, Fernanda, for that presentation. Who came up with the size? Was it the sign company or an architect or a designer or the applicant? Because it seems like it's like an arbitrary number. It's double what the city allows. I'm just curious as to who made that decision.
I can let the applicant speak, but I believe it was an effort from Monterey Signs and Montage Health. But the applicant is here to answer the question.
Okay, maybe I'll wait till they speak and I'll ask them directly. Thank you.
Okay.
Do they match the other signs that Montage has on Ragsdale Road?
Right, so in the staff report, I included a photo of an existing freestanding sign that the proposed one would match that one. They would be consistent with each other.
So that makes sense.
The wall signs, the letter C is consistent with other letters for the other buildings. The bigger wall sign that says Montage Health Breast Care Center, that one is unique. There's no other one like that.
Does anyone else have any other questions?
Yeah, I have one question.
Go ahead.
Fernanda, it looks like the sign's color is like a bright white, encompassing a big part of the structure. Is that just based on your photoshopping something in, or is that how the sign's going to really look when it's on the building? A big white, high intensity.
Oh, no,
sign.
sorry. That's just the background of the page. Only the letters would be white.
Okay,
Oh,
that was my only question.
That's my lack of Photoshop skills.
Anybody else? Okay, do the applicants have a presentation?
Yes, I do. Hi, everyone. My name is Sean Adams. I'm the owner of Monterey Signs. This is, I think, the third time we've come to you regarding this project at Ryan Ranch on behalf of Montage. And the first time we came, it was to seek approval for a series of internally illuminated signs like this. And we did win approval, and it was a great decision. The signs are very nice. I don't know if you've had a chance to see them in person. They look great. And they do their job for identifying the building. And we chose internal illumination because we were really sensitive about light pollution, especially being in the flight zone of the airport. We want to minimize as much lighting as possible and just focus the lighting on the letters themselves and not the entire sign structure. So that's why we chose that. And we got approval. And this is just, I believe, the third or fourth building in the project. And we need to go to ARC anytime we have an issue with a project that entails internal illumination or a building sign that exceeds 50 square feet, or a sign like this visible from the public right of way. So here we are, seeking your permission. All of these signs that we're proposing for the breast care center, they match all of the existing signs that have already been approved by ARC and the City of Monterey. So it falls in line with the sizing, the construction, the colors, the fonts, everything. The only thing unusual about this one is it has so many letters. Montage Health, Carroll Hatton Breast Care Center, that's a lot of letters. That's more letters than we've had for some of the other buildings. And for that reason, we've exceeded the square footage for the signage and also the lumens for the signage, just by the nature of how many letters are required to identify the building. We could reduce the number of letters, but we'd have to go back to Montage Health and ask them to remove the Carroll Hatton Breast Care Center portion of it. I'm not sure they'd be willing to do that. And the size needs to be the same or as proposed because it's a significant setback from the building to Lower Ragsdale Road. As Fernanda mentioned earlier, it's quite a large viewing distance. So if we made the signs smaller, people wouldn't really be able to see them from the time they're trying to decide and turn into the driveway, looking for the breast care center. So we feel like we need to stand behind the sizing of the signs and the construction. We could put dimmers on those to reduce the lumens, but I'm not so sure that would be a wise decision. That would reduce the visibility of the signage at nighttime. And then you'd have some signs that would be dimmed and for the new project, and then other signs that are not dimmed. So visually, when you're looking at them at night, they wouldn't look the same. Some would be dimmed and some would not be dimmed. So it'd be a little bit inconsistent there. So we're asking for approval as is. And I'm more than happy to answer any questions you might have.
Thanks for being with us again, Sean.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Seen you many times here. So the other signs that are part of the Montage campus up there don't have dimmers on them?
Correct.
Okay. Because I know I've been through this a couple times with you for different projects up there. I imagine Ohana will be next probably.
Yes.
Yes, Kim?
Bob had a question that I think may have already been answered, but he asked why the size, like, was it a design decision from the applicant, the Montage, or I assume it was collaborative.
It was a joint effort between Montage and Monterey Signs, just calculating the viewing distance, how large the letters need to be readable from that distance.
So I do have a question with the condition. I don't know if this is going to be for staff or for Sean. And forgive me if I'm a little behind on the Montage sign ongoing drama. How would the dimmer work? Would the dimmer be on all the time, or would it just dim at night? Or I'm not following how the dimmer would work.
Yeah, I have with me John Mata on this call. John, can you answer that question?
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
So yeah, the dimmer is just attached to the power supplies on the back of the wall. So each letter has an individual wire that goes through, and then it all daisy chains together and it hooks up to certain power supplies that run a certain amount of letters. So in the middle of that power supply, and the main power that the contractor will provide, you put a dimmer in the middle of it, and you can dim it at your leisure, or you can set it to whatever brightness you would like. And just to back up Sean's comment, all the lighting is the same out there. The only reason it's exceeding the lumens is just the amount of letters. The letters are the same brightness as all the other ones on all the other buildings. So like Sean said, I'd like to approve it without the dimmers, but that's how the dimmers would work.
Thank you. That answered my question. And would the dimmer be on all the time, or would it be something that could be adjusted?
Yeah, so it could be adjusted. And it only comes on at night. All these signs are on it's called an astronomical time clock, which if the time changes, as soon as the sun goes down, the lights turn on. And that's the same thing would happen with a dimmer.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
Are there any other questions? Okay. Thank you both.
Thank you.
I've got one, I'm sorry, one really quick one.
Sure.
So I'm sure that this has all been taken care of, but I assume that this passes the Dark Skies Airport Pathway Initiative stuff, that you've okayed everything with the airport.
So the airport doesn't want any uplighting, so
Yeah.
the signs wouldn't do that. The lighting would be limited to the letters.
Okay.
So internally illuminated signs are okay.
Right, because they don't shine the light upwards.
Got it.
Thank you.
And we've approved all these similar signs before. The same street signs, the same signs on the buildings, all that stuff.
Yes, there are 2 other driveways into the medical campus that currently have those freestanding vehicle signs, the same ones that is being proposed today.
Yeah, I remember that campus. It's big. We walked over it. We walked all around it when we still could do field trips. Okay. Then we will open for public comments. If there are any.
Currently, we have no attendees in the meeting, but in case anybody is watching on TV or otherwise, I will quickly announce the call-in information. So please join using Zoom.gov. You can find the instructions for joining on isearchmonterey.org on the agenda for today's meeting. The webinar ID is 161-914-8563. The phone number to dial is 833-568-86. Once again, to make a public comment, please unmute yourself. And again, we still see no attendees to the Zoom webinar. So carry on. If that changes, I will let you know.
Great. Thank you so much. We will listen to their public comment if we receive any.
Thanks. You're so welcome.
Okay, then we will move on to committee member comments. Does anybody have anything? Okay, seeing none, then I'll take a motion. Anyone want to take a stab at it?
Well, I don't have my paperwork here. I'm up at our mountain cabin, but I'd be willing to take a stab at it, but I don't have any of the numbers in front of me. So
I'll take a stab at it. I have the paperwork here.
okay, great. Ed
I
can do it.
move that we approve the 2 Upper Ragsdale Drive sign permit application SI-20-0187 for the one internally illuminated vehicle-oriented freestanding sign and 2 internally illuminated wall signs for Montage Health.
Did you want to include conditions or no?
I'm going to leave the motion without conditions.
Okay, well, I'll second Ed's motion.
Ed, did you say without conditions? I didn't hear you.
Yes, that's correct, without
Okay.
Conditions.
So roll call vote.
Could we have just a quick discussion after?
Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to say that I agree with passing it without conditions, just because it would look kind of weird to have that sign at a lower intensity than the other matching signs. So even though the lumens are higher because of the higher letter count, I think that's the right decision.
I agree with Patrick's comments regarding the difference in the illumination.
I don't feel like I need to belabor it. So we'll go into our roll call.
Sure thing. I have Chair Carter,
Aye.
Vice Chair Bluth,
Aye.
Committee Member Hunter,
Aye.
Committee Member Polly is absent, Committee Member Schmidt,
Aye.
and Committee Member Tregenza. Oh, you may have been muted there.
Aye.
Thank you.
The motion carries unanimously.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. And I'm sure we will see you again soon.
Hope so.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time, and this decision can be appealed to the Planning Commission within 10 days for anybody who would like to appeal it. And are there any additional committee member comments at this time? Are there any staff reports? All right, I hope everybody.
Actually, Chair Carter, if I could just make a couple of announcements.
Yep.
You probably received an email from Andy Flower. Andy's been with our staff for just short of 3 years, and he decided to take a new job. So we wish him the best of luck. So you will see some staffing transitions as we work through this, and really exciting, Chris Schmidt just had his baby today. So we're really excited to welcome, I think it's Oliver, to our city family. So I wish you the best of holidays, and your first meeting in January, I believe, will be canceled, but your second meeting will be going forward. So have a great holiday, and we'll see you in January 2021.
Thank you. You as well.
Happy holidays, everybody.
I hope everybody has a great holiday and a new year. Bye.
Bye.